Anybody ever go home?
You're here.
Exactly. Trust me. You don't want to model your social life on mine.
Makes you feel any better. Hotch and Morgan took off.
Hotch is married. Morgan's, Morgan.
What's this?
Police in Dayton, Ohio need our help with a serial rapist.
What's the story?
3 months ago, he raped 5 students at a small Bible college. Roughly an attack a week, then suddenly nothing. Until 9 days ago when he suddenly reappeared with a whole new victim pattern. Both those women are in their 30s. They were raped about 5 days apart.
Where have the new attacks taken place?
Opposite ends of the city. He was waiting for them when they got home.
How do we know it's the same guy?
He leaves voicemails for them.
Freezing them with fear before they even see him.
They don't recognize the voice.
No. Cops even have DNA, but it's just not in the system.
Why does someone attacking college students suddenly widen his net?
Serial rapists hardly ever change victimology once it's established. It's based on a fantasy that's very specific.
Maybe he's telling these women that no one's safe.
Call Hatch and Morgan. Tell them wheels up as soon as we're cleared to take off.
Yes, sir.
Well, thanks.
I think we're ready to meet. Trust me. I know what you want.
You came home early tonight.
Oh, God. Oh, no!
Helen Keller once said, "Although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming it."
You tend to forget, don't you?
What?
All the different moods on the plane. I think the mindset's different when the victims are still alive.
Okay, we got new information on last night's victim. Alicia Jordan, 38. MO is the same. He was waiting for her to get home. We broke in through the back, subdued her with a gun.
Answering machine?
Left a message about an hour or so before. Can't imagine being taunted like that in my own house, you know?
The messages aren't taunts. They're overtures. Think we're ready, trust me. It's being sincere.
Sounds like we're dealing with a power reassurance rapist.
To him, the messages are courtships. He's introducing himself to the victims.
If that's the case, he must have stalked them to know so much about their lives.
First victims were all college students, all religious. Might change.
Have the police found any connection between the latest victims?
No, nothing yet.
We have to figure out what made him go off script.
Maggie Callahan, I'm the detective on this job.
Hey, Jason Gideon, how are you?
Aaron Hotchner.
As soon as he changed victims, I knew I could use your help.
Your thoughts?
Serial rapists usually have a set fantasy. I figured if we can get a handle on what made him change, it would give us our best shot at nailing this guy.
Is there a place where our team could set up?
You got it. In the conference room.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agent Gideon, you're gonna have to talk to a lot of victims. It'd be helpful to have an extra female presence.
Can you promise me you'll be sensitive?
As long as you promise to stay pissed off at what happened to them. I've been on this case since day one. I don't want to have to step aside.
You will not have to. Thank you.
Can you roll over to the other side, please? Pull your gown down just a little bit.
Excuse us, please.
Thank you.
Alicia, we're from the FBI. I realize you've already spoken to the police, but we were hoping there were a few questions that you could answer for us.
Every time I think it's over, someone else wants to photograph me or touch me or ask me to relive it.
We will keep this short, I promise.
When the attacks first started, we put guards at all the campus gates on campus, but that man still somehow got into the dorm rooms.
Had you noticed anyone new on campus?
We've already talked about this.
I know it's hard, but sometimes it helps to go through it.
Maybe someone quiet, who seemed like he was always just a little too close?
I don't think so.
What about anyone that's suddenly not around anymore?
Before that man did what he did, he told me I should get a dog for protection. And then he said, or maybe you could let your parents have Dexter stay with you.
You said that your attacker knew the things you thought. What did you mean by that?
He said that we weren't the type of people to just stay inside and read books. And he talked about taking me away to Positano, Italy, and drinking white wine and listening to Al Green.
Is there any significance to that?
My favorite place in the world, the only alcohol I drink, and my favorite singer. I don't understand how he could know any of it.
Any males in your life that you may have told about the family dog?
I don't have any experience with boys. There's no one I would have told.
Need a second?
It's hard to focus sometimes.
I know.
The police all act like just because he didn't kill you, he didn't somehow end your life.
Did you take my advice and talk to someone?
So is a priest available on campus?
I mean a woman.
I don't know. Maybe that would be good. So many lives have been ruined here. When I went to the doctor, he said that my injuries were minor.
And you think if they were somehow worse, it'd be better?
I don't know.
Look at me. Someone hands over a wallet at gunpoint. Everyone thinks that's the best thing to do. You did what you had to do to survive. Don't let anyone tell you different. All right?
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask you to listen to this and tell me if the man's attitude sounds the same as when he was in your house.
I think we're ready to meet. Trust me. I know what you want.
He sounded different.
How so?
More nervous. Even though he had a gun, it was like he was afraid to talk.
Thank you.
What difference does it matter how he sounded?
On the phone, he can rehearse. In the flesh, he can't hide his true self.
I don't understand.
In this delusion, the man thinks of these attacks as dates.
I didn't do anything to make him think that.
We know you didn't.
This is enough.
Thank you very much. Everybody get some sleep. We got a big day tomorrow.
What's up?
I think I left my glasses in the car.
I'll keep you company.
No, it's all right. We gotta get sleep.
You're right there.
I figured you wouldn't be sleeping either.
What are you doing here?
I took a room on the hall.
Well, you live 4 blocks away.
Exactly. Why be separated from the work? You stole a bathroom?
Complimentary.
I can't get something out of my head. Cheryl on campus today, she said, so many lives here have been ruined.
Yeah?
Only 20% of rapes are even reported.
You think there are more victims out there?
You figure a Catholic school, the percentages are bound to hold.
On substressor might have been a rape that never got reported.
Something made him change victims. Maybe he almost got caught. Maybe he's religious and felt guilty. Maybe a victim reminded him of his sister. Something. What do you think?
I think you got good instincts.
Hey,
Hi.
you okay?
Yeah, why wouldn't I be? No, really, come right in. You wanna check my ID?
I thought maybe you might want to talk.
Don't go all profiler on me.
Elle, you got shot in your own home and then came back to the BAU like nothing even happened. Thinking you might want to talk isn't profiling. It's Psych 101. Please?
After he shot me, he reached into my wound so he could write on the wall in my blood. I was barely conscious, but I could feel his hand in there. And sometimes it's like I can still feel it.
Elle, he's dead. You're right here. You won.
And here's to winning.
Morning. Thanks for coming in a little early. Good morning.
Lousy coffee's up.
We just want you to hear what the FBI has gathered and get you on the streets.
So the guy we're looking for is a classic power reassurance rapist.
This differs from a power assertive rapist who attempts to humiliate and traumatize his victims, as well as the anger retaliatory rapist and the sexual sadist, whose attacks are also random and excessively brutal.
The reason that's important for you to know, he's the only kind of rapist who targets a specific victim.
He fantasizes that he's in a relationship with these women. Now, he doesn't come across them by accident. This is someone with access. He's the cable guy, or the locksmith. He's the guy who reads the gas meter. He can describe exactly what these women wear and how they smell. These details are what feed his fantasy. Now, we need you to look for the overlap between the sets of victims. Delivery men, lawn crew, handymen. Did the school share workers with any of the recent victims?
Because he sees these as relationships, he most likely lives alone.
And living alone allows him to indulge his delusion that he's in a relationship with these women.
Because of the discrepancy in the victims' ages, you can only pinpoint his age somewhere between 20 and 40 years old.
It's possible that he has a profession that he finds emasculating. So look for someone in their lives with a job that deviates from normal gender roles, something like a secretary.
We're sure that there is some overlap. This guy is a shadow at the edges of each of these women's lives.
All right, that's square one. Recanvass and be sure to relay information on shift change.
Thanks very much.
I looked into the idea of rapes that went unreported like you asked.
And?
2 months ago, a female student at Holy Trinity committed suicide. Now, she wasn't one of the reported victims, but her suicide corresponds almost exactly to when the campus attack stopped. Maybe there are more victims out there.
I don't understand how our daughter's death is FBI business.
We're investigating a series of sexual assaults that took place on Shelley's campus.
Were you aware of the attacks?
Of course. It was horrible.
There's no good way to say this, so I'm just going to ask. Is it possible that Shelley was raped and that led to her suicide?
No, it's not.
Did Shelley have any history of depression?
She put a lot of pressure on herself. She got A's, volunteered with a youth group, played varsity volleyball in high school. But she always handled it with grace.
Did she leave a note? And if so, would it be possible for us to take it and analyze it?
There wasn't a note.
We will return it. And with all due respect, this isn't something that I'm asking lightly.
With all due respect to you, you walk into my home, you ask if my daughter, who we buried 2 months ago, was also sexually violated.
Sorry.
I have a little girl, and I can't say how I'd react if something happened to her. But I would like to believe I would do whatever was necessary to make sure that no other family went through that same pain.
I'd like to go lie down.
Thank you for your time.
I'll see you out. I love my wife.
I'm sure you do.
She was raped.
The unsub got her pregnant. I'm choosing the sin of suicide over the sin of abortion because I can't bring his baby into the world. Please don't hate me, Shelley.
The attacks at the college stopped 2 months ago, right after Shelley's suicide. That had to have been the stressor.
He thinks of these as relationships. In his mind, Shelley killed their baby.
Jason, Hotch, we need to go back to the last victim and ask one more question.
Did he say anything to you about children, family?
No.
Did he mention anything about suicide? He referred to it as though it were a personal tragedy, somebody he was maybe in a relationship with.
Why are you asking me this?
One of the victims took her own life when she realized the rapist got her pregnant.
What is it?
I'm trying to have a baby.
For how long?
I had an appointment at the clinic to talk about insemination a few days before I was attacked.
Did anyone else know about that?
I just decided. I'm 38. I figured I couldn't afford to just wait around for the right man to show up.
Hey, I talked to the other two victims in their 30s. They'd both gone to a fertility clinic within 5 days of their attack.
Same one each time?
Yep.
Have Garcia run down employment records. We might be looking at someone who works there who has access to their medical records.
You got it. What's the significance of the 5 days?
The most popular fertility drug is clomiphene, and the clinic would most likely have a policy not to attempt insemination until the drug regimen was complete.
So then getting there before they begin the insemination process would guarantee the end of paternity.
He's trying to get them pregnant.
He hasn't changed his fantasy. He's merely found a way to perfect it.
Well, it explains the change in victimology. He's targeted young, ultra-religious girls who he assumed wouldn't want to have an abortion.
So when Shelley killed herself, he decided to change it up and go after women who were desperate to have a baby.
The NSUB knew Shelley Norvell was pregnant. Means he's still watching his past victims. Al. Talk to Callahan. Tell her we need patrols monitoring everyone on that victim list.
You got it.
You ever seen anything like this before?
Gary Heidnik in Philadelphia. He kept women in a dungeon prisoner for years with the hopes of impregnating them.
Heidnik was a sexual sadist. He tortured the women and even ended up eating one of them. This is a power reassurance rapist.
So in this guy's twisted mind, these are love stories.
Of course they are. He's starting families.
I'm sorry, but whoever's committing these crimes couldn't work at this clinic. I'm the only man here.
But that doesn't mean that there isn't a connection. We need your help to figure out what it might be.
You excuse me, just a minute. Can you just fill that out? That's great, just right there. Look, what's happening is just horrible. But the margins on a clinic like this are incredibly slim. And if word gets out that there's a connection to this rapist, my practice would be ruined.
To be honest, I don't care about your practice. 3 women were raped after coming here. That's not a coincidence. It's a pattern.
If you're implying that I could be a suspect, I should let you know that I had a vasectomy 25 years ago.
We just want to know if there's anyone in and out of this clinic who fits the profile.
Quiet, lives alone, awkward with women, yet hangs around the office a little too long just to be near them.
No, it's just a small clinic. I only hire women. My patients are just much more comfortable around.
What about outsourcing? Computer support, janitor?
My daughter handles all the technical business, and I have a cleaning crew of 2 women. Sorry.
What is that, Doctor?
It's just a questionnaire we hand out to learn more about our client base.
This is everything the NSUB knew about the victims.
Who else sees these?
I don't compromise the medical privacy of my patients.
Who else sees these?
Well, I sell the forms to a direct marketing company called First Hand Media. They just target buying habits. No medical information changes hands. It's not illegal.
Yeah, but the margins on a place like this. Word gets out. Your practice would be ruined.
Dayton, Ohio, you're on the air.
I'd like to make a request.
With that sultry voice, you name it.
All right, listen, it's a marketing firm by the name of First Hand Media. I want you to see if they have any connection to the colleges from the first set of victims.
Behold, First Hand Media processes all the freshman orientation questionnaires.
That's a beautiful thing. Oh, one last favor. Look up the words sexy and brilliant in that computer of yours and tell me what you come up with.
Look at that. It's me.
You are a goddess, woman. Ciao.
It was a work call.
You really think this rapist is one of my guys?
Well, he's used to being in strangers' homes, always on the phone. That's how he's confident. Thanks to your research, he feels like he knows these women.
We're gonna need a list of any employees you have that worked in the fertility clinic and university questionnaires.
I give every employee complete access to all of our materials. It helps keep them fresh if they can alternate between types of calls.
So I fill out my intimate personal information, and then you just share it with everyone you have working here for minimum wage?
I sense an attitude.
We need copies of every single questionnaire that you got from the clinic. We can get a warrant here in about an hour if you prefer.
If you think about it, all I'm doing is profiling just like you guys.
Well, let's not think about it.
All of these?
We cover the entire Great Lakes region.
Let's narrow it down. The guy we're looking for is a male, white, between the ages of 20 and 40, socially awkward, and unable to make connections easily.
I have 250 employees. Most of those are men, and every single one of them matched the description you just gave me.
Wow, I heard you ran into a wall of paper.
You can lock your doors, but these people still find a way into your home. Elle, it might be worth going back to the victims. It's a long shot, but maybe somebody remembers a first name from a telemarketing call.
Yeah, the unsub feels a connection with them, so he wouldn't lie or use an alias.
We know this guy's DNA is not in the system, but I'll cross-check employment records against sexual misdemeanors, peeping, exposure.
Good.
Separated the Dayton forms from the rest of the region.
So what do we know from the latest set of victims?
They're all single and all over 35.
Each of them also indicated recently buying books on babies and child rearing.
So he knows they're committed to having children, which means they're much less likely to abort, even in the cases of rape.
Get this, each of the victims also checked the yes box when asked if it would be okay to contact them on special deals on pediatric items.
The unsub's mind, they've consented. He thinks he's doing them a service.
Check those forms for each of those elements. If we can narrow down the potential list of victims, we can be waiting for him. Any hits?
Got one.
Reed?
Nothing.
It's the only one?
It's a small city. There can't be very many single women in their late 30s going to the exact same fertility clinic.
So we know who he's going after next.
Hello, police? Anybody there? I guess no one's home.
There was no forced entry. We're still not sure how he got in.
And what was the same?
No.
I'm gonna take a look inside.
What the hell are your men doing?
Excuse me?
Well, you can have men outside the door, but a woman can still get raped inside.
Hell.
They knocked. There was no answer. There was no legal cause to enter.
So they just walked away?
No, they left messages that it was urgent she contact the police.
Which must be on the machine right after that creep left a message saying he was gonna rape her.
They did everything in their power.
You just keep telling yourself that.
Hell.
Excuse me. How bad were her injuries?
She's lucky. They're relatively minor.
Do me a favor. Don't tell her that she's lucky. There's not a potential victim in the questionnaires. Who knows when we're going to get another shot at him.
Noose is tightening.
You saw that stack of forms? This company handles the entire Great Lakes region. If he thinks we're close, he can take off, and he's got a whole new list of victims in another city.
What do you think?
When he started with college students, he raped one a week. Now he has to wait for the right set of circumstances. But he wants more victims.
Well, let's give him one. You think Elle's ready for it?
We'll be there for her.
What's my story?
Your legal secretary, 36, divorced. We backdated the questionnaires 2 days, so in the unsub's mind, he's already behind his normal schedule.
This guy's itching for another victim, Mel. Once he sees that form, he's gonna want to stake you out.
You need to let him see you. He wants to know when you leave, when you come home, when you have friends over. He breaks into these houses when the women are away, so he needs to see you leave.
All we need to do is get him to breach that door. Once we get him on breaking and entering, we got reason to get DNA, and his ass is ours.
Another thing, don't go out with your gun on, it's too risky. If he sees it, we might lose him. Keep it someplace inside so you can get to it easily.
I'm gonna be right out front. Hutch and Gideon are gonna be around the corner in the surveillance van.
And don't forget you're wired, so we'll be with you at all times.
Hey. Good?
I'm good.
She's in.
Why isn't she leaving? She needs to get out of there.
What is that?
Morgan, call her.
Pick up. Pick up. I think we might have company.
Talk to me, Tiger.
Garcia, I need you to run a plate for me.
Peter, Mary, 6-8, yellow 3.
William Lee, 10308 Pinehurst Avenue.
Okay, can you get me where he works?
Feel my speed. He works for First Hand Media.
All right, I got it, thanks. Tim.
Oh, she's on the move.
What you doing with the gun on?
Just get in the car. Don't let him know that you see him.
What the hell's she doing? Easy, baby.
She's panicking.
Easy, easy.
No, come on now, hell, back off, back off. We got no reason to bring him in.
Don't blow it, don't blow it. Go, go, go! Everybody go!
FBI, put your hands where I can see them. Get out of the car! Right now! Get on the ground! Put your palms up!
I was just checking my...
Shut up!
I was just stopping to look at my map.
Got no reason to keep me here. We know you work at First Hand Media, and you had access to information about all these women.
But I didn't do anything wrong.
We know that. I apologize. We know how much you care about these women. You do care about them, don't you?
He's 28 years old and has a high school diploma, but he's had 12 jobs in the past 10 years.
Home life?
He lived with his mother until she was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer 6 months ago.
One last chance to make Mama proud by starting a family.
How are they playing it?
Deep empathy.
Smart.
Yeah, well, it better work. If they don't get him to confess, we got no reason to hold him.
We know that dating those younger girls was a mistake. They were just too immature.
Older ones they're looking to start families.
They were even willing to shell out a lot of money just to have kids.
Well, let's just say that that's true. Then whoever would have been with them would have been helping.
That's what we were saying, man. We're the best thing that's ever happened to him.
Excuse me, where do I find
Who's this?
this man?
Oh, no, son of a bitch.
Why don't you volunteer a DNA sample? If you were the kid, when you want to know who your father was?
Don't say another word.
Zo.
I'm advising my client not to answer any more questions. I'm assuming that we're free to go.
Just keep moving.
You're letting him walk?
Back off, Al.
You don't know what he's done.
The only reason he's walking is because you panicked.
I'm supposed to believe that you've got my back?
What are you saying to me?
The last time you sent me home, Hot, you got me shot.
Walk with me, right now. Need to get some air. What do you do, huh? When you think about this job, what you've been through, what you're capable of. Do you understand me?
So what happens now? Do you stay?
You have your man, you just have to wait for him to slip up.
You said yourself he has access to information on women for an 8-state region.
Look, you're a good cop. My money's on you. Get some rest, my friend. Wheels up tomorrow at noon.
this what you do? You wait for them until they get home?
You're not supposed to be here.
Well, you can't talk to a woman without a gun in your hand? You and I both know what you are, and you're not gonna hurt women anymore.
I would never hurt them. You know that. That's why you let me go.
I didn't let you do anything.
You're very pretty.
What did you just say to me?
Why do you choose to do a job that is so dangerous? You should find a man to take care of you.
Oh, like you took care of those women.
Now you're trying to interrogate me. You know you're not supposed to do that.
I'm just here to let you know that I'm not gonna rest until you go away.
You're here because you want me to say thank you.
You're sick.
Really? Because without you, I would still be locked up.
I didn't let you walk.
Thank you. You've made a lot of women very happy.
Hey, Lee.
What happened?
I was having a conversation with him. He drew his weapon, and I fired.
You're right.
I am. Thank you.
Can't let you speak to her until she's been processed. Procedure.
What happened?
She came to stake his place out. He saw her. He had a gun. Don't worry, it's cut and dry. Self-defense. She'll have her badge back by tomorrow.